Hey everybody, it's time for another episode of 7 Minutes with Stephanie, Talk About It Tuesday, where we talk about everything under the sun. And I'd just like to thank you all so much for watching and joining me on my channel. Before you get out of here, make sure that you press like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to turn on the bell notification so you never have to miss an upload. Let's get ready to continue to talk about the stages of narcissistic personality disorder. Now for a quick review, because I took off on last week, I need a little vacation. How many of you remember what we talked about? Now y'all know I'm a teacher, so I gotta do a review. The first stage of narcissistic personality disorder, or the abuse from a narcissist, is called what? Love bombing, or either the idealization phase. And what did I say happens? As I was reading from Sharon Chan, and she was talking about how love bombing, and I've experienced this, is when they just dropping these bombs on you, making you feel like you're the best thing since sliced bread. They will even tell you about their ex and how much better you are than their ex was. Because see, they're trying to paint a really bad picture in your mind about who they were with. And 9 times out of 10, there was nothing wrong with the person that they were with before you. But it makes you feel like you queen bee, you the king, baby. That's what they do. They love bomb you. They get into your head. And of course, we are open to that because we want to feel like we are the best thing that they ever had, even if they never had us like that. You know what I'm saying? But we know what we bring to the table. So those type of things inflate our mind. And there's something else that I omitted to tell you all on the last time. The type of person that a narcissist preys on, P-R-E-Y, are called empaths. Now, if you know what the term empathetic means, it means to be very sensitive. And so we as empaths, we have really good hearts. So what a narcissist does is they prey on our heart. And it's not that we're always gullible or naive, but we see the best in people and we want the best in people. And so because we have loving hearts, forgiving hearts, they want to crush our heart because it's the love that we have that they don't. I used to follow this page, I think narc awareness or NPD awareness. And honestly, you all, a narcissist is nothing but the devil in the flesh. One of those pictures, and I got to see if I can try to find it. It displayed a person watching TV after getting off work. I think a beer was in their hand, and they stripped out of their human form. And you saw the devil sitting there watching the TV because they wear a mask. It said that a narcissist can't change, that their hearts are black, that they are soulless people because, again, they're very vain. And we know that Lucifer, the cast out one, the son of the morning, was vain. And so he's the biggest narcissist of them all. But I'll tell you something. I sowed a seed for my ex, baby. I sowed a seed for his salvation because he was honest enough with me to tell me that he wasn't saved. Okay? And so, yeah, I believe he had God's endorsement, and I messed that up. We'll talk about that later. However, I sowed a seed for his salvation even before I knew that he was a narcissist. Okay? And so back to the love bombing stage. That's what a narcissist does first. The love bombing stage, or idealization. Now, you know I already talked about that. I'm a teacher. But I'll do a quick review. The love bombing stage is when they make you feel, like I said, the best thing since sliced bread, that you're just fantastic. There's nobody like you. And they just really blow your head up. Now, what can sometimes happen in the love bombing stage is flattery, mirroring, compliments, adoration, a lot of romance, baby. Let me tell you something. They'll buy you gifts. My ex used to give me money. Every time I would go and see him. And in the beginning, I didn't take his money. And he was like, so what, you too good for my money? And I was like, no, that's not it. My mother just always taught me, you don't get something for nothing. Nothing in life is free. And guess what, guys? There was something attached on the other side of the money, but I didn't see it like that because I'm like, well, my man should take care of me. And baby, he didn't drop any little change because he had it like that, okay? But again, I turned him down in the beginning. However, I'm like, well, he my man and he ought to take care of me, you know, and I've never been a money type female, but because we had gotten into a relationship, I felt like, you know what I'm saying? That's what my dude is supposed to do. Now, some of you may not know what mirroring is, and so I want to explain that to you. Again, mirroring takes place in the first stage, the love bombing or idealization phase, where they're trying to get into your heart. All right, mirroring is a behavior in which one person unconsciously imitates the gesture speech pattern, or attitude of another. And I'm reading from Wikipedia. There's several out here or whatever. The concept often affects other individuals' notions about the individual that is existing, mirroring behaviors, because you're thinking that they're like you. I'm going to show you this picture again from last week. Now, let me tell you what my ex said after we took this picture. You want to know what he said? He mirrored me right away because he knew I was God's princess on the radio and he had started listening to my show, da-da-da-da. This is what he said. He said, look at the bishop and the first lady. See how he was trying to plant that seed and get into my heart? Well, I'm like, oh, okay then. Because at one time, I thought I wanted to marry a pastor. I done rethought that whole thing. When we already talked about that on the show, because there are narcissists in church. So everybody understands what mirroring is, right? That's why we have to be mindful of the representative, because we hear that it takes about 90 days for the representative or the mask of a person to fall off. But y'all, it didn't take him 90 days. It took him less than a month before the mask fell off. So some people's representative may show up ahead of time. All right. But you know what? I got to put a pin in it right here. This is so good. This message has been brought to you by. Make sure that you like us on the web, anointedcreativedesigns.com. And on next week, we're going to dive right into stage number 2 of narcissistic personality abuse, okay? Devaluing stage. And when they devalue you, just think about the word devalue. They make you feel like your value isn't true. They make you feel like you're not valuable. They make you feel like you're not enough because they do that thing called crazy making to get into your mind, and it causes you to start wondering, what's wrong with me? All that stuff, but there's nothing wrong with you. And before I get out of here, the Lord wants you to know that you are more than enough. There are times when we've dealt with people in relationships, family members, or even on our jobs where they've made us feel like we're just not enough. But the Lord told me to tell you to go to Romans 8:37, where it says, yet we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. And because Christ conquered death, hell, and the grave, we are more than conquerors. So what God wants you to know today is you are more than enough. You are more than enough for that relationship that you need to let go because you're experiencing a narcissist or you're experiencing some type of emotional or mental or physical abuse. You're more than enough than that. You're more than that person on that job who makes you feel like you don't do your job well enough. You're more than who society says that you are because Christ is more than. Because Christ is more than, we're more than. So with that being said, I love y'all. Until next week, make sure that you're salt and light in the earth because somebody, they need you. I need you to survive. Mwah! I love y'all.